So, Besmira, thank you very much for hosting us here at your youth organization. It's H.A.N.A Against Nation Apathy. Maybe you can elaborate a bit about what you're actually doing. How are you engaging the youth?
Okay, thank you for allowing me space to share about our youth center. So H.A.N.A, as we call ourselves, it's an abbreviation of our longer name, Hand-to-Hand Against Nation Apathy, is mainly focused on non-formal education for young people aged from 13 to 35 years old. So we do non-formal education so as we can reach our ultimate goal of civic education and civic initiatives. So we want to serve and we work every day so as we can serve as a hub of youth initiatives that have a component of civic opponents, let's say, of phenomena that are happening but should not be happening in our society.
Mm-hmm. What are the main challenges of your work when it comes to engaging and finding young people who are willing to come to your offices and to participate in your programs?
So for the moment speaking, H.A.N.A Youth Center is the only youth center in the municipality of Lezhe. At first we thought that this would be an advantage, that youth would have an easy time of finding us, and us, we would have an easy time to have required participants for our programs. As it turns out, this is not the case because youth are not particularly inclined towards volunteering their time on projects that are of a community development nature. We have to recruit them first. Initially, we had these agreements with the education office here in Lezhe, but they were all cancelled inexplicably and without noticing us first. They were cancelled, and we were told that we no longer have the right to cooperate with the schools of our municipality, because first we had to go to the ministry to get approved for our programs, and then the ministry rejected us twice. So we now have the challenge of how to recruit youth. So we try to find key community members that work with youth, either psychologists or social workers or teachers or I don't know, nurses, everyone who is in contact with youth, and this way we try to promote our programs.
Maybe if I may interrupt you and ask you, what really strikes me is let's say, where do you see the youth as a driving force to democratic change in Albania, but also maybe in your town? So how does your work and the youth in this town shape and if it shapes the politics of this local community that you have?
I understand. So with what we do, we are trying so hard to make young people interested in politics. When I say politics, I don't mean political parties. Politics is everything that happens around us and affects our well-being. So we have our program has some interventions, and one of them, we call it the political education program, where we try to better understand our path towards the EU. Since we are amidst the negotiation of accession, so we are working with youth so as they can understand what these standards of accession are, meaning the chapters of EU integration. And we try to understand and to compare. This is the standard and this is where we are at. So what can you as young people do to contribute towards us reaching faster our goals set from the EU? And of course we focus on local actions then. We try to hold municipality officials accountable for issues that affect youth everyday lives, for example.
As I understood, you have a program of 4 pillars.
Yes.
So you're structured with those 4 central pillars. Can you maybe elaborate on that?
So our non-formal education is focused into 4 pillars. We work on what is the main or biggest area of intervention that we do is the democracy, EU integration, and remembrance of past crimes of communism. This is one direction. And then we work on education on environment, environmental awareness, which basically we focus it on waste management, because we have a real issue with waste management here in our municipality. And also we work with gender equality and equity, gender norms basically with our youth. And lastly, we try to do a little bit of media literacy. So the youth who frequent H.A.N.A Youth Center, according to their preferences and their choices, they go to one of these pillars or programmatic interventions that I just mentioned, and they give their contribution there.
Thank you very much for this very interesting insight.